Hola, amigos. Welcome to another edition of Buenos Dias, Mazatlan. Today's walk takes us on another journey down the beaches of Mazatlan, starting, as you can see, at Valentino's, which is along the Malecon, and right next to the traffic roundabout, where we have the intersection of Vista del Mar, Rafael Buelna, and Cameron Sabalo. We're going to head down south. As you can see, we're right by the Mazatlan sign, which probably most of you have dealt with, trying to get pictures. And, of course, it's best to do it early. But we're going to head south from here along a very long stretch of beach. So this is probably going to be two videos. We're going to start here at Valentino's. This is, in some publications, they call this a Malecon Beach. I particularly think of all of this long stretch between here and, say, Los Pinos as Playa Norte, which is basically the beach north of the downtown area. It's a very long stretch of beach. It is pretty, but it's not an area where you're going to see a lot of swimming and surfing, at least not until you get down closer to Los Pinos. And the reason, as you can see, quite obviously, rocks, and there are some pretty serious rip currents that run through this beach area. And I remember when I first got here 3 years ago, whatever, I would come down the Malecon on the bus or walking, and I would look out and I would see all of these great waves. And I would just say to myself, wow, how come there's nobody surfing these waves? Well, now I know why. Nobody wants to deal with these rocks like this. So, again, it's not an area that's suggested for swimming, but it is a good walking beach. And today we're going to walk straight down the Malecon and kind of stay out of the sand a little bit today, but I'll give you the shots as we go. Some of the, I guess, advantages of this stretch of beach is obviously you are right along the Malecon, so you can get off the beach. There are shops and restaurants and bars and everything all along the Malecon, just on the other side of Vista del Mar, the street that runs down to Centro. So it's convenient for getting snacks and drinks and what have you. There you see one of the warning signs about basically no swimming. There are always going to be vendors along the Malecon, so if you need souvenirs, there'll be some food vendors and things like that. So snacks and shopping and drinks and stuff are no problem. The other thing along this stretch of beach is actually right on the sand, there will be several small restaurants down there, and they'll look like, little palapas or good-sized palapas. So you can actually, stay down on the sand and grab a cerveza or, a snack, some shrimp, whatever. But again, it's not a great area to swim. If you are going to get in the water, though, I would suggest that you do it close to one of the lifeguard or the salvavidas stands that are along the beach area. You will see the white towers, and if you're going to get in the water, make sure you're close to there. So if something does happen, you can get help readily. The other thing, it's a long interrupted stretch of beach. So if you just want to get out and take a nice long walk along the beach in the sand, you can do that here. It's not broken up like some of the areas north of here where you'll have maybe a quarter-mile stretch and then you'll have jetties and other things to deal with. This is pretty much a straight shot, from here all around till you get down into, get close to Los Pinos. In future videos, we'll cover Los Pinos and Olas Altas. We will also get over to Stone Island, which is probably a misnomer. It's not really an island. It's actually a peninsula, but in order to drive it, it takes a long, long time to go around the roadway there. So they call it an island, and the best way to get over there and the quickest is to take one of the little water taxis that they have down by the port. After we get through with those, I want to get out to Cerritos and the beach of Cerritos because a lot of expats call that area home. A lot of visitors stay out there. It's mostly resorts, but they do have a nice stretch of beach, and we'll get out there and do one of those. But again, I want to point out the rocks down here. So you see them now. Now, when the tide is high, we're currently walking in a tide that's going out. So you're seeing a lot of these rocks very clearly right now. When the tide is in, you don't see them. So, but don't be fooled. They're there, obviously. So be aware of that. It's a lovely day here in Mazatlan, although it is hot. It is humid. It is, the end of June. We're heading into July, and we're getting smack dab into the Mexican tourist season, and we're seeing that tourist business picking up now. Over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed it in some of the condos near where I live. We've had busloads of folks coming in and staying for, 2 or 3 days, and mostly on the weekends, but you'll see a lot of these bus tours. A lot of kids now, they're out of school, so the families are doing their summer vacations. This will continue, and we've probably talked about it before. This will continue all the way until we get to September. In September, it basically stops because the kids go back to school. Vacations are over, and then we wait for the round of snowbirds and expats that come down in October and stay for 6 months. So the month of September is kind of a month to be able to catch your breath, to be able to give some of your restaurant staff and hotel staff a little bit of time off to kind of recover from the tourist season. Although I will say this, in the 3 years I've been here, it seems like we are starting to get some business in September. Still not enough to make any dramatic changes, but enough to where you do see a few more people here. But it's hot right up until that point. So what do we do? Somebody sent a message on one of our videos and said, what do we do during the summer to stay cool? I said, well, first of all, you learn to do anything physical that you've got to do early in the morning. I would say before 10 o'clock. You want to get any of that stuff done. Otherwise, wait till after 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. during the middle part of the day, you want to be definitely at least in the shade or in a swimming pool or something like that, or in one of the malls or in some place that's air conditioned, because it's just not fun running around in the heat and the humidity. That's what really gets you. But that'll start tapering off as we get into September, and then of course by October the weather's beautiful. Again, walking along Playa Norte, walking down the Malecon next to Vista del Mar. And we're seeing off in the distance, you can see with the antennas up there, that's Icebox Hill. So just on the other side of that is Centro and the downtown area. And just before you get to that area is Los Pinos. For you surfers out there are several really good places to surf in Mazatlan. That is one of them. If you are fond of point breaks, Los Pinos has a really nice point break there, and you get some good waves over there. So that's one area. In Sabalo, at Punta Sabalo, and along a beach that's called Playa Luna Bonita, which is basically where I live. I'm about 2 blocks from there, is a very nice sandy bottom surfing beach with pretty good waves. Actually, they're kind of gentle, so it's a good place for beginners, intermediates, or people that just want to go out and have some fun and enjoy it. And the beach area is beautiful there. So that's another area that's good. I've heard of some good places once you get out into Cerritos and the north side of Cerritos, up the coast there. So there are some very good surfing spots. Unfortunately, Playa Norte here is not one of them because of the rocks and the currents and everything. But here we see just down below is one of the little restaurants I was talking about. Looks like a little palapa down there. Los Lujos del Muchacho. Los Lujos del Muchacho. And you'll see as we continue these walks down Playa Norte, as we get farther towards town, you'll start seeing a few more of those pop up. And one of the other things that's obviously going on here and probably every beach city out there is tearing down the old buildings and raising new high-rise condo projects. That's certainly going on here. It is it's a sign of the times. And I guess one thing that I could say here is, if you're used to prices in the States, say in California or even now Florida and a lot of the other East Coast beaches, those prices are pretty they're not affordable for most normal folks. They've gotten kind of out of hand. Here, you can still get, oceanfront condos, or, as close as you can get to oceanfront condos. You can still get them for, a couple $100,000. And I'm talking nice new condos, modern, with the whole deal, the pools, the exercise facilities, the garage, the whole 9 yards. And they're continuing to build them. And you will see them dotted all along this area as we head towards Centro. I'm noticing coming up the beach here, it looks like a couple with some dogs. And one thing I would caution everybody, if you're walking along the beaches anywhere in Mazatlan, be careful where you're walking because, you may find something left by a dog. Now, most owners are pretty good about carrying a little plastic bag and picking up after the dog, but not all of them. And then there are also street dogs who basically don't have owners and they just kind of wander around, and you'll find them on some of the beach areas. And of course, they, are going to do their business wherever they are. So just be aware as you're walking that you may want to avoid some of the stuff left behind, let's say. Another thing, and I'll mention this in all my videos, and that is if you're coming to the beach, bring a trash bag, a plastic bag to put your trash in, and take your trash off the beach, put it in one of the trash barrels. You will always find trash barrels at every access to the beach. So don't leave your trash down here to be washed into the water. That's all I'll hit you with on that today, but it's one of my pet peeves. Here you see a few people that are walking in the water. Now, obviously, they're not going out and swimming or what have you, but they are, getting their feet wet, and that's cool. At low tide, this is a pretty good beach walk. Now, when we get to high tide, obviously, it will limit the area, where you have to walk, and you'll have to really be careful about the rocks that you don't see. But it's a beautiful day. It's early in the morning, and that's the time I like to come out to the beach. It's before the sun starts baking everything. And another thing, for me in particular, I know I've been dealing with skin cancer, like many of us who grew up in the 50s and 60s. We didn't know anything about ultraviolet rays and not getting in the sun and putting on thick sunblock and stuff. We went to the beach. That's what we did. I lived on the beach. I grew up on a beach in Florida, so I was out there every day, and I very seldom put on a lot of sunscreen. And I regret that today, but be aware that when you're out on the beach, make sure that you are either covered or that you have adequate sunblock, sunscreen, on, especially all of us, who are light-skinned folks. Now, one of the advantages of a darker complexion is you don't have all the same issues. That doesn't mean you can't burn. It just means that you're a little less susceptible to the problem. But always, no matter who you are, always be aware that sun is bright, and you want to protect yourself. The other thing, and you probably just saw them, they do a great job of keeping the Malecon basically clean, as clean as you can keep an outdoor beach walkway. I mean, you'll see them out here sweeping the sand, and they will sweep the sand. Obviously they'll pick up all the trash and everything, but they'll sweep the sand and then, put the sand back on the beach. It's kind of neat, but obviously it's part of the marketing thing. They want it to look nice for all the visitors. again, off in the distance, you see that's headed towards downtown. We'll just keep the camera focused on the beach for a couple seconds here. Nice walking beach, though. It's a nice walking beach. It's a good time of the morning to be out for a walk, too. So, I'm going to try to keep this video somewhat short, so I'll probably have to cut it off soon. We're looking across at a restaurant called Navigante. I met the brewmaster of this restaurant. It is a restaurant and a brewery, and they do their own beer. And he gave me 4 sample bottles of the beer the different beers that they have. And they're pretty good. So if you're looking for a place for some custom crafted beer, give Navigante a try here. It's right along the Malecon, across from the beach. So you're in a pretty good spot. Here we're coming up to one of the lifeguard towers that I was talking about. And you'll see it right there, that tower, Salvavidas or lifeguard. I've got something on the lens of the camera here, so I'm going to see if I can clear that up a little bit. Apologize for that. But could be just a little bit of the ocean mist or something like that. You know, the salt in the air. I don't know. But anyway, we are coming up on an area with a big condo complex and a shopping area down below, just on the left here. That's sort of a beige building. That building has an Intercam bank, and that's the branch of Intercam that I opened my bank account at. And for those of you who have asked, and many of you continue to ask, how do I get my money down here from the States or from Canada or wherever? Well, Intercam is a Mexican bank that will open an account for you, even if you don't have residencies. You don't have to have a temporary resident card or a permanent resident card. You just have to have some particular documentation. Obviously, passport. They'll want your current banking information in the States. I think I believe, have to have an address, maybe a utility bill, which the utility bill doesn't necessarily have to be in your name, but it needs to be of the place where you're living. So, you know, for many of us, the utilities bills are in the name of the apartment owner. And whether or not they pay them or you pay them, it stays in their name. So, you know, I just get a copy of that bill and put it along with my other information. And it took, I think when I did the application, it probably took about an hour. And had the account set up, got my Visa debit card so that I don't have to worry now about, you know, daily cash and having to go do MoneyGram or Western Union or any of those things. I can go to an ATM and get cash out. I can use the debit card when I'm out dining or shopping or whatever. So, and it's all in pesos, obviously. So I would suggest at least looking into that, and Intercam is a good place to start because I know they do these accounts. Getting to the point here pretty soon where I'm going to want to, like I said, I'm going to want to cut this off. So I'm going to do so in just a minute or so. And we'll do a second video from this point down to just before we get into Los Pinos. And we'll put that up in an upcoming episode. But right here on the right, I think is a good place to stop. And this is the baseball monument. Mazatlan, as you may know, or maybe you didn't know, has a professional baseball team, the Venados. And they are part of the Mexican Pacific League. And this last year, they had a really good season. They went to the final championship game or series, which would be, kind of like a World Series for their league. Unfortunately, they lost that series, but I was able to go to one of the playoff games. And it was fun. If you haven't been to Mexican baseball, it's a party. It's loud. They have a lot of activity going on. But if you get a chance, go out to the stadium and catch a game or two. They start the season generally, I believe, in October, maybe late October, and run through about January, and then depends on playoffs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's well worth it. It's not expensive, and I think even for the playoffs, the semifinal playoff series, I got seats in left field for 100 pesos or something like that. So, pretty good deal. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off right here at this monument, and we'll pick things up next time with a walk from here down. So, I thank you guys for watching. If you are so inclined and you're finding value, please like and subscribe to Buenos Dias Mazatlan. We'd love to get your feedback, comments. Let us know any suggestions that you might have, what you want to see. But for now, I'll just say thanks for watching, and hasta la vista. Buenos Dias Mazatlan.